Hi everyone, it's Dennis Freitas and welcome to another online screen tutorial brought to you by YourMacShow.com. Today we're going to be covering part 2 of system preferences. So let's go ahead and activate that now, which is right here from our dock. We'll open up system preferences and we left off on the dock. So let's go ahead and go to expose and spaces. And your first thing you're going to see here are you have two tabs. One is expose and the other is spaces. And we'll go ahead and start with expose. And what you have here is your first set of dialog box here is about active screen corners. And what that does is allows you to use your mouse cursor as a shortcut to activate some of the features in expose. So what you can do here is click on here and you can see what your options are. So if you were to take your mouse cursor, it's currently defaulted at nothing, and this represents the corners of the machine. As you see here in our little Windows display, this is your upper left, your bottom left, your upper right, and your bottom right. And you have several options here. So when you open this up, this dialog box up, you have all windows, which will show everything that's active. You have your application windows that are currently running. You have your desktop, which will wipe everything clean and just show your desktop. You have your dashboard, which we'll go over in a minute. There's some widgets in the dashboard. You can have it start your screensaver, disable your screensaver, or put your computer to sleep mode. So why don't we start by going with all windows. So I have now selected this to activate all windows in the upper left hand corner, and as you can see in the dock here, I've went ahead and I have the Finder running, a couple of Safari windows, an address book, and etc. So why don't we go ahead and take our mouse cursor and we'll bring it up into the upper left hand corner, and you'll see there's all windows. This is expose. Now you currently see in the large framed picture here, or I'm sorry, the dialog box here is the active window that we have currently using. All this below this very faint line here are what is active in the dock, and if you hover over them you will see what they are. There's your address book, iPhoto, iCal, that's an untitled text document, etc. And these are some web pages that are open as well. So you see everything that's in the dock below the line and everything that's currently active on your desktop above the line. And there's a way also to do this with the keyboard. You can also use your cursor keys as well. And if you look over to the far right hand side, I just highlighted iTunes. And I can just skip right along. And that's going up, that's going down to the bottom. And then you can simply hit return and that brings up your text document. So then we go back. Here again, you can do the same thing with the mouse. So if you wanted to bring up your iCal, you click on it and that brings that active as well. Now when we go back to the corner, you notice that we have our text document up now, we have our system preferences, and we have our calendar, and then we still have other items here below the line which are still currently in the dock. All of our Safari is in the dock here. You have iPhoto, which is on, and it's signified by the little spotlight there. So if we click on iPhoto now, that becomes the active screen and brings it front and center. We go back here again, and now we have 4 pages that are being shown. And again, you can step through this via your keyboard as well. So that's expose, and that's kind of a nice little feature right there. And a very quick way just to navigate through your windows. Okay, let's go ahead and bring this back. We're going to reduce iPhoto down. We'll reduce this down and we'll just bring system preferences back up. What I should point out here real quick, since we're talking about expose, for example, if you were to come to the Safari icon here and you right click and hold it down, that just shows you, and what I've done here with my mouse is, I left click it and I hold it down and it shows you the 3 um, Safari windows that are open. And you can do that with any, like your calendar. Okay, now there's only going to be one. We could go to our Finder, and we have 3 Finder windows. So basically, by taking your mouse and then left clicking and holding, it does another expose feature of just your Finder windows. So that's kind of a little hidden trick there. So as we click anywhere away from the screen, it brings front and center the expose, or I'm sorry, the system preferences screen. So it eliminates the expose view and brings you back to system preferences, and we are currently in expose and spaces. Let's set up another hot corner to do something else here. So let's go to, we were just at all windows, so let's go to application windows. So now let's go ahead and open up a couple of applications here. We'll open iTunes and iPhoto. Now if you come over to your bottom left, it brings up the most current application that you were just using. And kind of a way to figure that out is your menu bar is showing iPhoto, and when you go down, that brings up just that particular window. So now if we're at iTunes, we go there, that brings up just that window and kind of cleans everything up, and you're able to see just iTunes. And if you notice at the dock, that highlights just your iTunes as well. So that's another way you can use that. So let's go ahead and bring up, let's do a Command Tab, and we'll go back to System Preferences. And that's another trick there. If you go Command Tab, that's basically a mini dock that you can simply hit Tab, Tab, Tab again, and you tab through and can open any of the windows. These are showing all the active windows, but it will bring you to front and center. Like for example, if we release this now in Safari, that brings Safari to front and center. So Command Tab again, and you step through, and we want to go back to System Preferences, and there you have it. So just another little side trick there. So let's go ahead and work on another one. So let's go ahead and say we want to bring up our dashboard. Okay, so now we have made the right upper corner your dashboard. So when you bring it there, that brings up your dashboard widgets. Okay, and then you put it back and it releases those. And then we'll make the bottom right, we'll make that where it starts the screensaver. You come down here, hold your mouse button down, and your screensaver starts. Okay. Well, there's also some keyboard shortcuts as well, other than just using your mouse, and you can customize these any way you like. The only issue I have is occasionally if you're going to the Apple menu and you come up here, you'll activate your expose when you really didn't want to, and you wanted to come to your Apple menu, and I find that it becomes a bit distracting. Or if you're taking something to the trash and you come here, then you activate your screensaver. So I'm not a huge fan of these settings, but those are the options that are available to you. But there are some keyboard shortcuts and some mouse shortcuts as well.